Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Megan, and I'm here to talk about my last 5 library books. I'm having the hardest time trying to see if I'm in focus or not. I've noticed the last couple of videos I wasn't completely in focus and it's gonna bother me forever, but let's hope, fingers crossed, that this actually stays in focus. Moving on to the books, because that's what we all came here for. I can't lift them, I'm too tired. So, we're just gonna go through them one by one. So the first book that I read was Words on Bathroom Walls by Julia Walton. This is the cover. Still haven't seen the Netflix movie, but I do want to see it. But about the book. So I thought it was going to be more hard-hitting, and I think that's maybe why I didn't like it as much. So I ended up rating this 3 stars. I thought I was going to rate it 4. But I just, this didn't do anything for me. Like, this was real, like, it had really good, like, schizophrenic representation because it really showed a person living with schizophrenia who wasn't, like, manic and, like, what the media usually portrays people who are schizophrenic as. So, like, they're, like, super crazy. And, like, he was just a normal guy, and he had his quirks, and he had to figure out how to live his life. And he had to, this book was more of, like, a coming to terms and, like, coming of age story. Like, he had to really figure out his life and figure out how he was going to adapt to living with schizophrenia, because obviously it's not going to ever go away. So this was more of that kind of story. So, I mean, it wasn't like gut punching or anything. It was just, this is his life, and this is him trying to figure it out. So, I mean, it was a good book, but I guess it was a little lackluster because I thought it was going to have more. That's all I got to say on that. The second book I read was What to Say Next by Julie Baxbaum. This was the super cute cover that I thought was like going to be like this super summery read. I don't even think this took place in the summertime, to be honest. But this basically was about a girl who lost her father in a car accident, and she makes friends with this kid at school who doesn't basically have any friends. I mean, he's okay with that because he likes being alone. But he's on the autism spectrum, and he's cool living his own life, doing his own thing, even though the kids are so mean to him. And so she, like, randomly shows up one day because she's like, oh, I just want to sit here, I don't want to have a conversation, whatever. And then the two of them become friends, and I was really, like, I really enjoyed this little friendship that was forming. What I didn't like was the weird plot twist at the end. Like, I don't know, it just felt really, it was added for, like, shock value. You're like, oh, who was driving the car who actually killed her father? Oh, like, yeah, I didn't care for that. I thought it was just not well done. Everything was going so well, and it didn't really need that last punch at the end, but we ended up getting that, and so I ended up rating this 3 stars because of that. So, yeah. But I mean, it was still a good book, but I mean, it had a lot of bullying and, like, girl on girl hate too. I mean, I guess high school students are super catty. I don't know. I haven't been a high school student for a long time. So, I don't know. Those were my thoughts on this book. The next book I read was The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. So, when I talked about this book in my predictions, I said it was a princess. I was like, obviously it's a Princess and the Frog retelling, not realizing that this is a Princess and the Pauper retelling. And I don't know that story very well, so I couldn't tell you if this was a good representation of not representation, but a good retelling of this. I can't even speak English. So yeah, but I mean, this book was still, I enjoyed it. I rated it 3 stars. It was better than the first book because I actually liked, for the majority, I liked all of the characters. I was hoping we'd get more adult characters, but we really didn't. I mean, we had the main character, I don't even remember what her name is. Imogen. Imogen, we saw her parents, like, she had her 2 moms, we saw them, but we didn't really see them. Like, they were here and there in passing, and that was about it. But that's about it. Moving on, my battery's gonna die. So, I liked this story. I like that we're still in the Starfield universe. I like that we got characters from the first book, and I mean, they were sprinkled in and we got new characters, and then this one focuses on one of the side characters in the first book. She's now the main character in this one, and they switch places, and I thought that was a really cool plot line. I mean, it moved the story along, and yeah, those were my thoughts on this one. I rated it 3 stars, or did I say 3 or 3.5? So that was this one. I look forward to reading the third one. I hope it's in the Starfield universe too, because it's been fun to be in that universe. The next book I read was Redemptor by Jordan I. Fuqua. This one, oh my god. So I have this first book, like I say, I have the first book, and I bought it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like the second book, because I didn't really care for the first book. This one was better than the first book, and I knew that was what was going to happen. And I mean, maybe I should have bought it, maybe, but I mean, I can still buy it. It's not like that's, like, not a thing. But I really liked this one because I liked the world building. It was better than the first book. I liked the characters, like, especially the main character. Like, she went on a journey. Like, holy crap. I enjoyed watching her because I got so angry with her because I'm like, you're not alone. Why are you making people feel like she was like, I'm all alone. I have to do everything because no one else understands all the pain that I have to endure. And I was like, girl, ask for help. And I mean, she also had these voices talking to her, telling her like she was useless and she's the only one, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I get that, like, there was this voice in her head that was telling her this. And so, but I mean, I'm glad, like, she had to claw and fight her way, like, to get rid of that voice and whatever. So I thought that was really good. And there was, like, a good, like, I can see where the author was taking from, like, our world and, like, putting them into her world, like, the issues and stuff like that. So that was really good. So I actually just really enjoyed this novel. I mean, I rated it 3.5 because I didn't think it was a full 4, but it was still really good. So I highly recommend this duology because the second book surprised me. I mean, that always tends to happen, right? The last book, this chunky book, was Theft by Finding, Diaries, 1977 to 2002 by David Sedaris. This is the book that I had no idea what it was about, and it's literally his journal entries, his diaries from the years 1977 to 2002. So, I don't know, I've never read anything by David Sedaris. He is a well-known author and humorist, so I guess he's a funny guy. I mean, he's not a comedian, he's a humorist, so that must mean, like, he does satire? I'm not exactly sure what a humorist is. Like, what's the difference between humorist and comedian? Anyways, maybe humorists are people who write funny things. Anyways, so this was basically chronologically his life for like a good 25 years. And I mean, as someone who journals every day, I was like, wow, it's ingenious to turn like that into work, like into a book. Like, that's actually really cool. I really, really liked the idea. I mean, this was really long, and I'm not gonna remember half of the stuff that went on in his life because honestly, I don't care. I mean, if you're a fan of this guy's writing, I mean, this is probably for you. You're like, this is an inside look to this guy. But for me, I don't know him. I've never, like I say, never read any of his work. But I enjoyed the concept of this. There's a second part, and I'm probably gonna read it because I'm just really curious to see if it follows the same kind of pattern as this. I mean, it probably does. But I'm just kind of curious to read it. So, I mean, he's supposed to be, like, funny, but I mean, I didn't think he was, like, laugh out loud hilarious or anything. But I mean, he does write well, so I was like, okay, this is cool. So, I ended up rating it 3 stars just because this was kind of like a, I mean, I liked it for the concept. The material, it was like, whatever. So, there we go. And I made it with my battery not dying. I'm so excited. So these were the last 5 library books. I can't hold them. My arms, my weak arms, they can't hold it. These were the last 5 library books that I read. That is all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, do your thing. And I will see you in my next video where I will probably be talking about my next 5 library books because I plan to go to the library tomorrow. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. Anyways, it won't be tomorrow when you see it, so who cares? So, anyways, on that note, I'm out of here. So, thanks and bye, guys!